Welcome back to another episode of Scryer's Room. I'm your host, Famfare.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Mario.
And today we're going to be talking about the various differences between psychic and magic systems. Before we get into that, though, today's episode is brought to you by our sponsor, Dubby. They are a California-based, sugar-free energy drink, and they're leading the fight against big oil. So, Kevin, you have something to say here?
So, I was recently having, the thought... I both write fantasy and sci-fi stuff. I personally am of the opinion that, if a person's a genre author and they only stick to that, that's fine. They must have found their niche. But I'm clearly not there yet because I still want to put my hands in all the little bowls. And one of the things that sort of gets to me, in terms of, the philosophy of, writing and why we put things in, is that, generally, the answer to, why does this magic thing happen, or what makes this person magic in sci-fi, is, the elevation of human consciousness, blah, 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 into psychic powers. They're telekinetic or telepathic now. And you see it a lot in sci-fi movies and stuff. Did you see Lucy?
No.
It's a movie, basically another one of the movies where it's if we unlock 100% of our brain, we can be wizards.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever. Neither here nor there. Movie doesn't matter. Psychic versus magic, I don't like them occupying the same space. They feel like different things to me.
I agree. It's a different, I guess both of them boil down to imposing your will upon reality, but whereas I feel like for psychic, it's your perception is causing it, whereas with magic, it's your manipulative powers over a force.
Yeah.
Empowers it. That's kind of how I would put it in loose terms.
Magic feels like it has to be part of the universe, whereas psychic feels like it's that guy's a bad enough dude.
Yeah, he's a bad enough dude to think that guy's on fire, so now he is.
Yeah.
But also usually bullshit an explanation of we've augmented the brain or something like that, and that enables psychic ability.
Turns out we just needed a piece of copper in there with some silicon motherboards, and we're fully able to fly under our own power. Just had to jam that in the old fat cells.
Or another species can do it because they've evolved to a higher state or something.
One excellent anime that actually dabbles into this is Shinsekai Yori from the New World.
From the New World did great.
Yeah.
That was hard to watch, though.
It's also depressing.
It's one of the saddest things I've ever seen, man.
If you're wondering what that rattling sound is, that would be a rabbit who's having the time of his fucking life.
He's attacking
a buck
box.
wild. Yeah, he loves that shit. It's his box to eat. It's his box to consume. He'll do whatever he wants. His name is Amadeus. He's my son.
He's a good boy.
He is a good boy.
He's never seen From the New World. It's too dark for him.
Oh, man, dude. The Baka Nezumi, man.
Yeah.
They have a rough life.
Yeah.
They got a rough life, those monster rats.
And then they lead the rebellion. From the New World, great anime. It's my understanding it's based off of a book. If you read Japanese, read it. Watch that anime. It's good. Highly recommend.
But yeah, they have a lot of stuff with visualizations. So the spoilers. Well, I'll try to keep them down. But one of the characters basically becomes immortal.
Yeah.
And they become like the sage of the village because the previous sage was also immortal, because they have a certain visualization they can do. But the way they do it is by focusing on glass.
Yeah.
They try to extend panes of glass, and I guess that translates to them being able to re-extend their telomeres.
Yeah.
So they can just stop aging. They're just good. So I thought that was a cool way of describing psychic abilities, that you're basically visualizing one thing, and then by flexing that muscle a different way, you just make a phenomena happen that shouldn't be happening because you're imposing your will upon reality.
Yeah.
I actually kind of used a similar explanation for spell slots in Kael'din. So, as I'm trying to write my novel centered in my setting, I'm trying to narratively explain spell slots in D&D in, a book. And, that was a kind of a hard challenge, because spell slots, I think it's from that one Fire and Forget, what is it called? There's, a story everyone based it off of. That's where Spells Per Day comes from, was, some book that people liked. I can't remember its name. It's not Xanth, but it was something like that. It might have been Xanth.
Xanth didn't work like that.
It wasn't Xanth, okay.
Yeah.
Tales of Earthsea?
I think it might have been Tales of Earthsea.
They did True Word Magic, didn't they?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think you're right.
And then I'm doubly wrong, man. I don't.
Well, I mean, that just speaks to the breadth of like fucking fantasy. That's not like we don't know shit.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, we don't know shit, but like,
yeah, there was a system they had where basically you had to memorize your spell, and then once you did it, you forgot it, so you had to go re-memorize it. It was Fire and Forget. And there's a few novels and stories settings that use this.
Discworld.
Did I guess Discworld? That's what it was.
Yep.
Rob told me. Rob told me the original one, and then he said Discworld took that too. Discworld has D&D magic, or rather, how they work in D&D for wizards.
Which is why wizards don't cast spells. It's too much work.
Yeah, they don't want to go study again. So they have the threat of being able to turn you into a newt, but they're not going to do it because it's so much work.
because then you have to learn how to turn a whole guy into a newt again.
Yeah, that's just so annoying.
Yeah, sounds really hard, frankly.
Yeah, so to avoid that, I described it as you are having a debate with the weave, and you have to prepare arguments. And if you don't have those arguments prepared, you're basically trying to like convince reality. Come on, guy, fire's over there, and the reality is like, hey, I don't think fire's over there. But you're like, nah, guy, fire's definitely over there.
I can prove it from the heat over there, and then you have like a little bit of finger magic. Yeah.
And then there's a fireball. Boom, something explodes. But the way I have to explain spell slots is each time you do that, you're basically flexing an invisible muscle in your mind. Like, it's not a real thing that you're tweaking, but because
it's not a physical thing, but it is real.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. It is not a physical thing. You can't point to it, but it's like a mental muscle that by having a debate with the weave, you are basically stretching and extending that muscle. And each of the spheres of magic, aka the spell slots, is basically a different limb within that. So, like, you know, you can do a bunch of curls all day and be tired. You can't do any more curls. But then you can do squats. You know, those aren't the same muscle groups, so you can do that just fine.
Yeah.
That's how the different spell slots work in Kael'dan, is that basically level 1 spells are like you're wiggling your finger up a few times. I only wiggle my finger X amount of times, but it's pretty easy to do. And then it gets as bad as like I am deadlifting an entire elephant.
I wish that gyms worked like that. Where you come in and they're like, all right, you've never worked out at our gym before. If you want to graduate to level 2, you're going to have to do 20 curls of this many pounds. And once you do that, you're able to move on to level 2, where you'll unlock leg day.
It's fucking silly, yeah. But yeah, no, that was just one way I utilize the philosophy of you're imposing your will upon reality. But to do so is extremely exhausting mentally. So I always enjoyed that for you know, that's how I always assumed the magic or psychic ability worked, was imposing will upon reality, but I kind of segued it into my setting as well when it's just magic. But other than that, magic, but it still is interacting with the force, though.
Right.
Yeah, there's still
a psychic isn't like trying to convince that pocket of space, whereas magic is trying to convince that pocket of space in your setting.
Yes, exactly. You are talking to like basically the mana, the ether, the ether, and you're telling the ether, hey, this should be happening right now, and it's like, actually, I don't think that's how it's supposed to go. And you're like, actually, it is, and it's like, oh, okay, and then whatever thing you're trying to do happens.
It's also, generally speaking, magic is like an external thing that you're taking.
You take it in rather than
you figure out, you use it. Whereas, like, not always, but a lot of the time, psychic power is just like once you have X amount of psychic power, like go crazy.
Yeah,
like, no limits.
Until you get nosebleeds because the storyline isn't ready for you to do the thing you're doing.
Yeah, but then eventually, you know, like you can like power up or whatever. Whereas like magic is like you have like a pool you have access to, and once it's used up, it's used up.
Magic is like input, psychic is like output.
That's a pretty good one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's I think that's what we're kind of getting to here.
Well, there is rare instances where it's like there's like virtually no differentiation between the two. Like, say what you want about the series. I enjoyed it as a child. That's how like Aragon magic works.
Yeah,
is where it's like psychic shit is and like the magic stuff are just intrinsically linked.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Kind of like psionics in D&D, or no?
No, it's more of like they're just completely integrated. Like
one of the things is my understanding is that like they use true word magic, but it's because it activates a part of your brain to use that word to do that thing.
Kind of. It's just that like you can just do mind stuff.
Yeah.
Like as long as you're trained, like you're just a psychic basically. Like that's part of like having a wizard duel is you're slinging magic at each other, but at the same time you're invading each other's minds.
Oh wow.
And it boils down to like if you can get into the other person's like brain first, like you win.
Damn.
Because then you shut down their brain basically, and then now they can't block your magic anymore. So it's like
I turned off the part of your brain that knows math. Now you'll never be able to stop the angle of my fireball.
Yeah, or it's just like they force you to a point where it's just like you have to focus completely on defending your mind.
Yeah, that makes
Stuff
sense.
like that.
Safeguarding your brain.
So that's a weird one where it's just like it's a blend of the two.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's pretty unique. You know, I appreciate that.
It's a fun series. It has problems, but
Aragon has its problems, but it also I read it when I was young, so it was very.
Yeah, it's a young adult book.
Yeah.
Cut it some slack.
I mean, the classic go-to of like psychic and magic are the same though is Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because Star Wars isn't like
midichlorians, man.
yeah.
That came later.
Well, here's the thing. Even with like midichlorians as like an aspect of the setting, like even within that movie where like Qui-Gon Jinn's like I'm checking his midichlorians, like it's treated as like okay, that can indicate shit, but is he real? He might have wizard blood, but does he have wizard balls? Like, is he able to actually do that shit? And I don't mind that as a concept. And then it got even weirder, and now there's clone stuff involved, and they cancel Acolyte, which is sad because I really liked the villain. I'm iffy on all the other main characters. But, like, they very much have, like, the mysticism is tied to this psychic thing, which is tied to science, but no one's sure who's right. It's not cut and dry who's right. Is it psychic or magic?
Okay, so, bit of a tangent. Kevin just batched his elbow. Alright, so, are they still making Marvel movies?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Which ones? What's coming out now?
Fuck if I know. I don't know.
That's what I mean.
Man.
I stopped paying attention. I thought they just stopped.
No, they're building up to the new Avengers, which has Robert Downey Jr. coming back, but this time he's playing Doctor Doom.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I
Hopefully
remember
they
hearing this.
They don't ruin that, because I love Doctor Doom.
I hope they don't fuck it up as well, but then again, I've helped that for many things in my life, and I've been wrong a lot. So
They have not gotten Doctor Doom right once, and my boy deserves it. He deserves. I hope RDJ can pull it off, man, because my boy deserves at least one good movie.
One
I
of my
love Dr. Doom
favorite
so much.
One of my favorite scenes of Doctor Doom from the old Fantastic Four movies that were cheesy, weird garbage.
Yeah.
But I like cheesy, weird garbage. I eat nachos all the time.
Hell yeah.
One of my favorite things that happened in the second movie, the Silver Surfer shows up. He comes from space and like says to Doom, like, "Hey, I picked you to talk to because you seem like the logical choice. You seem to be the only wizard on this planet of this level of power. So tell everyone Galactus is going to eat the world." To which Doctor Doom was like, "That's so interesting because lightning hands."
Hell yeah.
And it doesn't hurt the Silver Surfer at all. He just like throws Doctor Doom into a cave, and he's like, "You've been warned." And I just love the concept of an alien from space acknowledges, one, you're a wizard, two, you're really strong, so logically you should be in charge of the world.
Yeah, that's funny. That's such a fucking ego boost.
Yeah.
And instead of getting any validation, he just tries to smite that motherfucker. That's so Doctor Doom.
Yeah, he's like, "I don't need validation from you. I need validation that I'm better than Richards. Gah, lightning."
I love that. I love that so much. What a petty little fuck. Oh man.
Back to psychic versus magic, though.
Yeah, no, I don't know enough sci-fi settings to have a good, big enough like sample of various psychic systems.
Mm-hmm.
You typically know magic stuff.
Dune.
Dune is a psychic, yeah.
You're more versed in Dune than anyone here. Want to drop that on us?
It's less. It's not like it's psychic in the sense of that it's all about
It affects their minds, but it's not
prescience.
Yeah.
It's not telekinesis or anything that shit. But it's once you've done enough worm drug, you just see the future now.
It works with regular drugs too.
And that's where like that focus is. It's all about like being able to peer into the future and what do you do with that information. Like,
Yeah.
Well, it's a pretty good move to know what that guy's going to do so I can do something to stop it or to counter it or encourage it.
or you see 10,000 years into the future and you become super depressed and you decide, no, I'm not going to do that. And that's Paul Atreides.
Yeah.
Damn.
And then your son has to become Worm Hitler Jesus.
He done did it. He done did
Because
it.
he sees it too and he's going to take
Leto
the
the
golden path.
God
I
damn.
imagine him just building his Iron Man suit out of baby like sandworms, just thinking like, man, this didn't have to be me.
Yeah.
Fuck.
They have a talk immediately afterwards. He finds Paul and he's just like, "What's up, Dad?
And he's like, I'm
Did you
sorry.
see this?" Like,
I'm sorry, son. And he's like, I know you're sorry. I unlocked all your memories because I'm also the chosen one.
yeah, and he's just like, "See this? I had the balls to do what you didn't,
Yeah.
old man."
Now get out of my way. I'm slithering here.
Not yet. He still has legs at that point.
I love how Billy and Mandy has an episode where Mandy...
yeah.
They just have a Dune episode, and I love
went
it.
right over my head, man. I had no idea it was
The
Dune.
cinnamon mines.
The polar opposite of cinnamon is frogs.
Of course.
What does that even mean?
And Billy is just Duncan, Idaho. Like,
Yeah.
it fucking killed me, dude.
So one of the new memes going around, well, I guess it's already old by the time this comes out, is the factory worker. And it's just like blue triangles coming out of the machine, and then like a red circle comes out. And the response from the factory worker is always, guess we making circles now. Not like checking it out, seeing if it's broken, just guess we're making circles now.
God bless.
And one of the best versions of that was the axolotl tanks, and it's just Jason Momoa's coming out of the machine. It's like, guess we making Duncan Idahos now.
That's fucking great. Yeah, man.
Honestly, I think one that, even though it's basically magic, they say it's not. It's fucking 40K. Like,
Yeah, no, yeah.
So that's where this was all really heading to, where I was going to say, like, you can, the clearest, like, magic is just psychic delineation is in Warhammer, because in Warhammer they have the fantasy setting, Warhammer Fantasy Battles and whatnot,
Yeah.
which they have magic, and then they have Warhammer 40,000, which has psychers that just do magic.
yeah, but they basically say it's not, and then like the magic is when you do sorcery, which is
Yup.
when you're
I
making
was gonna bring
pacts
that up.
with demons and shit. But
That's the unifying factor of both of them is
but
sorcery.
then you use the sorcery to do the same shit a psyker could do. So it's like it might as well just be the same. It's just you just had to make a bargain with an evil, any variety of horrible demon.
Yeah.
Crazy half man, half woman, half bird.
I subscribe to the theory that Age of Sigmar takes place in the warp, and that the mortal realms are just stable pockets of real space within the warp, basically ushered in by the end of the old world, and that's why they can do magic there without any consequences of perils of the warp. I mean, they have
There's no perils of the warp, we're already in the warp.
yeah, basically that's how it used to work. I think they added a magical backlash in the last few editions, just as a balancing factor for wizards. If you roll like 2 1s and you're trying to cast, you get fucked.
Some like wild magic shit.
Yeah, well, because it used to be really, really funny when you miscast. I remember my most fond memory. I'm going to go over, like, this is, I think, is Warhammer Fantasy Battles 7th and 8th edition. So basically, you would roll a number of dice to cast a spell based on your wizard level and how many dice are in your power pool, right? So you could have one wizard who's strong and have a whole bunch of dice for just them to use, or you could have several wizards, but then your pool is stretched pretty thin. But your spells are randomly generated, so you didn't know what you were going to get, so sometimes you want to take 2 of the same wizard in hopes you get the spells that you wanted.
Right.
Alright, so when you rolled those dice, if you got doubles, double 1s or double 6s, you got Perils of the Warp, or magical backlash. You miscast. You fucked up. Your character tried to do a spell, and they sneezed or something, and now horrible eldritch phenomena is happening because they didn't do the ones with magic right now, did they? And so it starts off something as like, if you roll like you roll 2d6 on the table, and I think if you get something high, then like okay, you're fine, you're better off. But if you get super low, terrible things happen. So one is like your wizard explodes, but they're fine, but everyone around them takes like a strength 10 hit and basically gets turned to blood salsa.
Jesus.
I've seen a Bretonnian damsel surrounded by questing knights, like 9 questing knights in like or 8 questing knights in a 9x3 formation, or 3x3 formation.
Right, doing the meme.
Yeah. So she cast a spell and then got that and
the little
killed
blonde woman surrounded by black guy.
Yeah, the pirate parry meme. But yeah, she explodes and kills every single knight, and so she's just standing there alone, and that's like a 300, 400 point unit. So
man,
he lost instantly by her miscasting. But my favorite response, or my favorite outcome, and I'm not sure if it's review. I think it's if you roll double ones. It might be if you roll a double 12, a 12, or if you roll a 2 or a 12. I forget which one it is, but it describes that a clawed hand rips its way through reality and drags the caster kicking and screaming into the warp. That's it. They're dead.
Fly of Torment opens. You're done.
Yeah, you just get ripped into the Fly of Torment real quick. And we only ever saw it once. I believe it was a Dark Elf Sorceress Sean was playing. And yeah, he got the fucking boxcars, and a furry clawed hand came kicking and screaming.
Ow! Ah!
Yeah, what a great concept. Very fucking fun. But yeah, I guess in Aegis Sigmar that doesn't happen no more because you're in the warp. That's my theory. This has not been proven. Feel free to roast me, listeners, but that's what I subscribe to. Aegis Sigmar takes place in the warp because the world that was exploded.
Yeah. I mean, so one of the things that this just reminded me of, so I saw the movie Event Horizon as an adult.
Oh, I haven't seen that as an adult yet.
I have not seen it as an adult. I remember it being scary from being a little monster. And I didn't realize how much that movie is just Eddie Murphy's Haunted Mansion.
No way.
It's
pretty cheesy.
It's just a cheesy horror mansion movie, but starring the guy from Jurassic Park as the villain instead of like a spooky ghost.
That's hilarious.
It's just a Haunted Mansion movie where the ship is alive. It's Monster House. It's Monster House.
Oh man, it's Monster House. Okay. Huh.
Yeah.
So I guess I should have watched it. That sounds like a good time.
It's actually like a pretty enjoyable ride.
Fun movie.
Yeah.
It sounds like a fun movie.
It's very fun for something that I recall being terrifying.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
Lawrence Fishburne, right?
Yeah.
And he's just being quippy black man.
Yeah.
Like at one point he's like in space or something and he uses the pressure from his suit to like make it back to the ship. And he's just like, he says a dumb one-liner thing that like
he's the one-liner guy.
I'm coming for you, motherfucker, or some shit like that. Like or
the real hero, Lawrence Fishburne.
Like fuck this shit, or just something dumb. Like
I can't believe this shit.
Yeah, like it's very, very silly.
Fuck.
Also, supposedly that was supposed to be a 40K movie, which is why
I was gonna say
really.
They took because the whole premise is that's what happens.
Perils of the Warp. Yeah,
it's what happens when you go in the warp, and your Gellerfield or Jellerfield, whatever you want to call it, fails. You get possessed by demons.
But yeah, that's why I brought it up because it sounded like a 40K thing.
And I guess the guy who made the Starship Troopers movie originally wanted to make a 40K movie about Tyranids. And I guess the script was supposed to be about that, but then they turned it into Starship Troopers instead, and that's why it's so different from the books.
It's my understanding that was a factor in it.
Okay.
And another part of it was that the guy who actually made it, who like he also made, I think, RoboCop and Showgirls.
Oh wow.
And like he what he did was he read this book, which is, I mean, it's not just pro-fascism, but it's pretty pro-fascism. And he just read it. It was like, this is hilarious. And they're like, it's not a satire like that. It's a satire, but it's not that satire. And he's like, oh, well, it should be. So that all that, would you like to know more? I'm doing my part. Like all those little bits in the movie are just him just having fun with it being like, no, it should be as silly as it really is.
That's hilarious. I didn't know that. Yeah, I should do some more research into that because I've heard a lot of like mythos and like theories around Starship Troopers and then the movies. And the IP is like back now. They made an RTS about the Starship Trooper movies.
Yeah, I mean there's Starship Troopers 1. There's
Helldivers.
Helldivers helped a lot.
Oh yeah, Helldivers is.
Which I haven't played much Helldivers, but the humor, spot on.
Oh yeah.
Super Earth, and fucking God, like every time you complete a mission, it's like another win for democracy.
I love that. That's so good.
That got me. Of all of the, I don't much care for the game, like playing by myself or anything. It's fun with friends, but
Right.
that was the aspect I enjoyed the most. Which, by the way, everyone has each person. You make your own flagship. You get to pick its name. And I maintain I had the best name, and I'm the harbinger of family values.
Oh hell yeah! Teach those bugs.
Welcome to nuclear families, bugs.
Yeah.
And then you just hit the button that drops nukes.
Fight for Super Earth.
So fucking stupid. Welcome to nuclear families, and you drop a nuke on them. That's such a stupid one-liner. No.
Yep, that's the kind of stuff that I'm bringing to the table. I love that though. That's good.
You can make some really great names on that,
Oh, fuck,
because you just
dude.
pick from like a bunch of different words, and it's,
Right. They don't give you total freedom, otherwise we end up with the kawaii desu and
I immediately locked onto family values. It's just like
Family
what else we got here? Like
So fucking good.
that's all there really is.
I haven't played Helldivers, but it sounds like a fun ride.
it's fine. It's a good. If you got a big group of buds and you got time
Yeah,
to kill.
that's definitely a game with the boys exclusively.
It's my understanding that like part of it was like depending on how everyone in like who's playing the game does, like it actually changes the tides of battles and shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's like a giant like super map, and
Right.
then it's like based off of like how many players have succeeded this planet's, and then it like raises like a meter of like you've liberated planet whatever, like another win for democracy, or if you don't complete it, like,
As you're slaughtering the indigenous species.
yeah,
That's
or
so
like if you
good.
don't complete it in like X amount of time, like X days or whatever, then like the planet gets overrun.
I think one of the things in the lore also is that every single enemy is like we have to face a new enemy. Those slaves that escaped.
Oh,
And
man.
now we have to face a new enemy. Those slaves that escaped.
So it's basically Tyranids, and then there's like the fucking Terminator Necron bots. Those are the two like enemy types.
yeah.
And it's very clearly that like we're the invaders.
Yeah.
We're here to bring democracy.
That's what I'm
And then
saying.
it's-
Just like slaughtering these poor bugs. They're like, I imagine them being like cutesy little bug guys. Just like,
Oh no, they're terrible.
I
but-
know, but in my mind, to them they're cute.
But they're
you know?
mindless. Like it appears,
Well,
like they're just being bugs.
Just
and then
burst my bubble.
we show up, and it's just like time to eradicate, and bring democracy.
It's my understanding that like part of the lore was the bugs were like their own race that we tried to like when humanity met them, they were like, we can be intelligent partners. And then we found out your blood's rocket fuel.
Oh man.
So we started just having immigrants in quotes that we would take, and then we made like
Is this the lore?
and then humanity made slave
about it.
camps.
Oh man, and they're fighting back.
And
They were just cute bugs. I was right.
I don't think they're necessarily a hive mind, but they're all connected, and because we put them in a slave camp, the evolutionary pressure of that applied to the whole species. So now they're Godzillas.
And they're good. They have one take.
Specifically to escape
mankind.
Auschwitzes. That's all the skills that they have.
I need to look this up. This sounds crazy. What a crazy
And
lore.
I know that the robot thing, at the time that I actually did reading about this, it wasn't confirmed where they were from. But we did like cyberize a bunch of people and then made them slaves, and then they escaped and possibly made themselves full robots and are now coming back like, you shouldn't have enslaved us, you guys are assholes.
So this is real full tilt satire where both
yeah.
the foes of
Yeah.
humanity are created by humanity.
Yes.
That is hilarious. That is hilarious. Man, they're doing good work.
But they're coming for your family. You gotta defend Super Earth.
If we didn't take that rocket ship blood, then they would just use it to attack us with their giant... Okay, they didn't have them at the time, but they had something. They didn't spread that far with nothing.
That's fucking hysterical. What an interesting IP. Huh.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with magic versus psychic. But...
We talk about a lot of things.
They got fruity rocket blood, so that's fucking impressive.
Yeah.
That's magical to me.
It's pretty magic. Are you eating carpet fibers, buddy?
He pulls them out and chews on them.
He sure does.
Yeah, he loves. I have a shag rug on Amadeus' side of the room, and he'll just sit there and plop down like a fat fuck, like he's doing now.
Yeah,
he's like a little pool.
He's in loaf
fluff.
mode, and he just like spreads.
I love it.
Yeah,
he's
like
so
a water
good.
balloon full of corn syrup.
He's so fluffy. He pulls out when he flops down, and then he just sits there in resplendent and just rips up fibers from my rug and chews on them.
Just nibbling.
Just nibbling. I love him to death. Oh, we're getting this is not anything about psychic or magic either, but I am getting a baby bunny tomorrow.
Yeah, it's from a rescue, right?
No, this is a breeder.
Oh, a breeder.
So I am all for rescues.
Oh yeah, that other rescue thing. I remember now.
Yeah, I'm all for rescues, and I tried to go to adoption, and there were some problems, so I just kind of washed my hands of it. And we rescued Amadeus, so I feel as though I have done my civic duty to bunnies. I'm allowed to adopt a baby.
Yeah.
So we are getting a Holland Lop. Hopefully, they're going to be a girl, a nice little doe, and the name I have picked out is Constance. But if they don't have any does left, we're going to get a boy, and I don't know what they're going to name it yet.
I mean, Salieri's right there.
Was that Amadeus' rival? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, Salieri?
Yeah.
That's excellent. Because there's a good chance you're going to want to beat each other's ass for the first, 3 weeks.
Just like the real boys, yeah. I mean, their ages would be flipped in this, but...
that's what Salieri was a senior?
I believe, yeah. Because...
That makes it more ironic.
In the movie, they dramatized it because, in reality, Salieri and Mozart were just sort of, also musicians at the same time. They didn't really have, a very real relationship in the way that the movies portray.
Yeah, but they got to get tension and drama and all that good shit, yeah.
In the movies, it was always Salieri has been a musician for years, and he has just made his thing, and then this guy, in a single night, this new guy made something that even he sees as so genius, it makes his shit look like garbage. So whenever you see, in a piece of media that the guy's like, he did this in one night! It's not fair! That's just a reference to that movie from Salieri just losing his shit over Mozart being really, really good at music.
Huh. Esoteric memes.
Mozart was able to compose this in a cave!
It's funny. Yeah, no, but my little boy Amadeus, he's a good boy. He's a fluffy bunny. He's a Californian. I'm pretty sure he's pretty big for his breed too. He's a kind of a chunky.
He's a chunky boy.
They thought he was a Flemish giant when we brought him to the vet, and I was like, he ain't that big, but he's pretty big.
We went to the county fair earlier this summer, and they had a little petting zoo area, and they did have a Flemish giant.
Oh man.
Yeah, and the guy had it on his lap.
Yeah.
And everyone was asking, is that a real fucking animal, or is that a stuffed animal that we can purchase? And he's like, you can't buy it. No, this is my fucking rabbit. And it's just big old boy just sitting in his lap, not the way a lap dog sits in his lap, sitting in his lap the way that a pit bull or a Labrador would sit in his lap, uncomfortably at a weird angle.
Yeah, it's
because he's just big.
Yeah, they're so big and cumbersome, man. So I don't know how Amadeus is not that big.
No,
but he is a big boy. I hope the lop isn't dwarfed by him too poorly. But they're gonna be little baby boys, so it's gonna be bad at first. But hopefully they grow into their ears.
Yeah, big old floppy ears, such a cute boy.
Yeah, I used to not like the floppy ears on rabbits, but they grew on me. Just rabbits in general grew on me. So I'm very excited to get this lop. It'll be a good time.
All right, so let's move on a little bit. Talk about psychic and magic shit. We talk about, you want to do magic systems?
I'm all for it. I'm here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So what makes a good magic system?
That depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
Typically, they're broken up into soft and hard magic systems. A soft magic system, one that is poorly defined, doesn't need to be defined. It's just whatever the story needs it to be.
The Force.
So, yeah, the Force, Harry Potter magic.
Yeah.
Which I'd maybe put that in some weird middle ground, because there are some rules, but
They break them all the time, I hear.
She only throws them out there, like, as just, like, weird little sides.
Yeah, it's more set dressing than it is actual...
You don't need to know
constraints.
Basically.
Yeah.
Like, spells work if you say it right and you wave the wand in the correct way, whatever. And there's hard magic systems, which is, no, these have rules. Like, these rules can't be broken unless you figure out some sort of weird exploit or whatever that is then...
Breaking the rules is, in fact, like, it has to be treated with importance in this system.
And it has to be foreshadowed. You have to be given, like, enough information. The characters, even if they don't know it, have been given the information to do this, and then they figure it out later.
Yeah.
But other than that, it has rules. It follows these rules. Can't break them. And the epitome of that is my boy Brandon Sanderson.
Oh yeah,
he makes hard magic systems. Pretty much all of his Cosmere novels have them, and they're all fantastic. They all work on the same fundamental principles, but are all fundamentally different. And he has refined this into, like, basically a fucking science.
Yeah.
To the point where he has Sanderson's laws. Which I'll just say the first one, because that's the only one I can remember. Sanderson's first law is your audience's enjoyment of a magic system correlates to how well they understand how it works.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And he was asked this on he was on a panel of like various authors, and then basically the guy, whoever the person hosting it asked him the question of, like, what makes a good magic system, and then his answer was just like, well, obviously you need to have hard rules. And then immediately the other authors were just like, oh, what? No. And then he was so shocked that everyone disagreed, or a lot of them disagreed with him, that magic shouldn't have hard rules, that he just was like, what? And then, like, from that, as I understand it, he then created his laws of just like, if you're going to have a hard magic system, this is how I do it. But many other authors subscribe to the soft magic system. And it seems to work for them. It's cool. Certain readers enjoy that. I enjoy hard magic systems. I like understanding things.
Right. Now, not to interrupt here, based on what I told you about my setting, would you consider that a hard or soft magic system?
As it is now, I think you're working into a hard system, but from what I've read myself, you got some gaps that need to be filled in, but you're getting there. But it's like you're also doing something very different than like a Sanderson magic system.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's why I'm curious.
You got more like traditional, casting magic stuff, whereas all of his is just
like powers.
Yeah, very different. Where his whole thing is when he introduces a magic system or an audience to the magic system, he does it through a character.
Yeah,
and then as like the character is doing stuff, it's like basically being explained to you, like, this is how X thing works. Like, that's how the opening of the Stormlight Archive is, where a dude is using these powers, and then, like, he's going beat by beat of, like, what's happening. Where he's using in this, it's called a surge, which is basically just a branch of, like, power, and the one he's using is gravitation, where he is the ability is you change how gravity works for something. So it's called a lashing. So say he lashes himself upwards, depending on how powerful it is, like, he'll either be weightless, or he'll start floating, or he's now on the ceiling. His orientation to gravity is such that the ceiling now is the floor. Like, and so everything to him is now inverted.
Yeah.
Everyone else is upside down. Or you could lash a box or something that's across the room, and then you're not flinging it this way. You're making it so that it falls.
It's
this
more like
way.
I lash it to that far wall, and now it falls to that far wall.
Yes, that wall now is down to the box.
Yeah.
And then he's going, and as you're from the perspective of this character, he's going through beat by beat explaining how these lashings work. And like that is typically how he slowly explains it to the reader without like info dumping on it.
Yeah, I try to avoid info dumps. I have a few. I mostly try to have like a character thinking about and decide like, oh yeah, I'm aware of this thing, but this is weird. Like, because yeah, info dumps are usually like, say what you will about JoJo's, people really enjoy JoJo's, but I always like get tickled at all like the character just yelling out an explanation of something, like just yelling out the obvious or whatever. That always like bothered the fuck out of me. Like, but I mean, JoJo's is stupid and it works and it's fine.
JoJo's is what JoJo's is. It's folly to compare it to ordinary media that is not bizarre.
It is quite bizarre, and it is one of the textbook instances of a storyline and a show or a media that is stupid, but it works.
Yeah.
Like, there are a lot of things that, like, this is extremely stupid, but just like Future Diary. Damn, this show is stupid. Tell me more.
Yeah, but
it compels
it up.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, goes down smooth.
Yeah, what a trip.
Or like,
Speaking of Future Diary, has a hard magic system. All of their diaries have rules that's how it works.
and then it does that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
The best one probably for how he slowly explains everything is Mistborn, where a character she becomes the protagonist, but at first she's a protagonist. Is she gets taken under the wing of another protagonist who knows how to do all the stuff, and he's slowly teaching her. And so as she learns it, so do you. And
fun.
So it gets like it's just explained to you at almost like a perfect pace, like almost as near as perfect as you can get it, where it's like she slowly begins to understand and starts experimenting at the same rate as you start asking questions. Well, like, well, what if you did this? And then she's like, well, what if I did this? And then she does it, or it doesn't work. And then so it slowly teaches you as the guy is teaching her.
That's fun. That's a good way to do expositions. I think that's good.
So that actually really helps me. The whole reason that I brought up psychic versus magic and magic systems in this episode is because I have a thing that I'd like to try to start working on, and it's something that I've wanted to do for a long time. Basically, as I was growing up, until very recently, I didn't spend money on myself, basically ever. If I got anything new, it was a gift, generally. And I'm sure I have a whole psychological fucking box to unpack with that. But one thing that it really did make me like really appreciate and think much higher of as like a thing is when people actually release content just for free. Just put it out there. Give it away. Webcomics do this. I loved webcomics when I was young. A lot of podcasts operate under that. We do that. It's silly, but we do it. But I was thinking that I really wanted to work on like an actual written project that I could release for free in a serial format online. And I was debating whether or not to use the sci-fi story that I was working on, Biomechanica, as part of this, or to use one of the fantasy stories I was working on for this. And frankly, I'm at a loss. I don't know which one to pick. I could do both, but then I wouldn't do either one very well. And regardless of how I do this, that answer of like, oh, he explains it to them because he's teaching them, that actually works really well for my the fantasy story, because a big part of it is I realized after like sort of like studying my own idea, I guess, that what it will boil down to is sort of like a Doctor Who thing where he has a companion that he's teaching about shit, and then he moves on to a different companion who teaches about shit. And then at the end, because the reason that he's gathering them is because he's building like a fucking Avengers to fight the end of the world. But each of those characters that he has as companions are like branches in the magic system that I have. I feel like that would be a very good way to like be able to introduce each part of it. I think that would work very well, at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a good methodology for sure. Like because it's nice because you have the experience of bonding with the characters and character development while also teaching the audience about what they're supposed to know.
Yeah.
As the character is also learning it, so it seems fresh and like, it put yourself in their shoes.
Yeah.
It's always good when you can put yourself in the character's shoes.
And I'm sorry, Colin.
You're good. And I was just going to say then he has a different approach in the Stormlight Archive where he gives you that first crash course with that initial perspective. But context from that chapter is that the things this guy is doing is like mythological. Like you can't, people don't think you could do this shit anymore.
Right.
It's been thousands of years since we've seen or even have tales of people being able to use these powers, and so the people he's attacking people.
Right.
He's an assassin. He's there to kill the king.
Right.
And as he's attacking guards, they're all just like, what is happening? Like they're losing their minds over just like this being like out of like their religion has just suddenly come to life and is killing them.
This guy's who actually is doing David Blaine moves.
Yeah, and it's like he's running along the walls as if he's a goddamn like magician or something, or like just like a monster.
Actual ninja, like from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. This motherfucker is using wire fu, and everyone's like, "But there's no wires!" Ah! As he kills them,
and then he's like tagging dudes, and then they're suddenly being flung into other dudes, or he's sticking them to the wall, and they're just like, "Ah!" I
just realized that this guy's power is he's Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter.
Oh man,
kind of, yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Bungee gum.
That's what it was.
And importantly is he's not doing it in the way that is normally done when there's a special reason for that. But you don't find that out until later. And then the method which he then teaches you about the system is that it's rediscovery. So that the reason people were able to do this thing is starting to happen again. And then slowly these characters that it's happening to, who don't understand what's happening to them, are slowly teaching themselves how to use the powers by just experimentation and then trying to figure it out. Like, and then it's a very, very slow build up, and then to the point where like one of the main characters eventually has a conflict with that first guy who has a lot of experience doing this shit, but his version of it is unnatural, or at least he shouldn't be able to be doing these things. And then he comes in contact with the character who got this through the natural means, and then that's part of their conflict, is that technically he's the more experienced one, the assassin, but the other guy, it's natural for him.
Right.
So he is just gifted. Like essentially, he's a prodigy of the powers. This
Talent
guy
versus hard work.
Yeah, worked for it for years, and then like that's part of their clash. Is that. That juxtaposition.
Yeah. That's classic theme, anti-theme.
Yeah, and so that's interesting when you get up, because I'm using a similar element in Kael'dan about wizards versus sorcerers. So, like in Dungeons and Dragons, sorcerers are charisma-based casters, where basically if your dick is big, you're good at magic.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's supposed to be strength of personality and strength of will. I get that, but I do like to think it's funny. Like charisma is also the attraction stat.
Also, you're just born with the spark of magic.
Yeah,
like,
precisely.
Usually from like, my ancestor fucked a dragon, or something like that. Yeah.
Precisely, and so
I love that it's always the presumption that my ancestor fucked a dragon, and now my ancestor was fucked by a dragon. One of them is a lot easier.
Yeah, fair enough. But
was the dragon red or was the dragon gold?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It makes a big difference in the police report. Trust me.
Oh man, brutal. But yeah, so, and I always had wizardry as being more like it's intellect based. So to me, I always had it that like wizardry is like calculus. You have to be able to like, when you're doing fireball, it's because you have to like understand that like the certain temperatures or like the trajectory of the fireball, like, you have to like do the Pythagorean theorem to lob that shit and make sure you like, do a whole bunch of complicated shit in your brain. Whereas charisma-based casters, they just have a feel for it. It just makes sense to them. So kind of going into what you were saying about like, experience versus talent, that's the same juxtaposition I have in Kael'dan about sorcerers versus wizards, and why they kind of like have beef with each other. Is wizards kind of put themselves on this pedestal of like, oh, we're smart motherfuckers and hard workers, and that's what we can bend reality to our will. Whereas your daddy was a dragon. Fuck you, rich kid.
And they both spit on.
I had to study Mordecai's the law of thermodynamic manipulation, and then the wizard's just like, yeah, or the sorcerer's just, yeah, whatever, fireball, ha!
Like I
Check out this freestyle fireball.
Yeah, dude. It
Ow! Fuck!
Did he bite you?
Yeah.
You little shit. Did he draw blood?
No.
Amadeus. Did you not give him attention?
I guess. Damn.
Oh man,
Hey,
my
buddy.
little terrorist. I'm sorry.
So
he bit
angry. It's all
you. He
right.
craves blood now.
Well, rabbit terrorists aside, thing you brought up with the whole debating the weave thing, that's actually basically how another surge works. Soul casting, which is basically transmutation.
Mm-hmm.
But the way you do it is you interact with the cognitive aspect of an object, and you have to convince it to become something else.
Huh.
So there's like one of the first times a character tries to use this, she's one of the ones who's trying to discover her powers and how they work. She's stranded. She's like in a cold, very very cold place. Doesn't have she's like, I need to make a fire. Mm-hmm. And so she gets some sticks, and then she gets one of the sticks and then interacts with it. Its cognitive aspect, its stickness basically, and it's just like, hey, why don't you become fire? And it's just, I'm a stick. It just keeps saying, I'm a stick. I've always been a stick.
Yeah, that's all. I'm doing
and
stick
then
things.
so you have to come up with a persuasive argument as to why it should become fire, or else it won't work.
So that also reminds me, I read the Xanth books when I was very young, and they have a unique magic system that's very soft in a lot of ways. But the basis of it is you're born and you have a talent. They call it your talent. Mm-hmm. And you have a thing you can do.
Don't you bite me.
Generally, they're pretty useless. Like
spot on the wall magic.
Yeah, exactly. But one of the characters who becomes like the most powerful king in all the lands, genuinely the most powerful wizard to ever exist, his power was the ability of persuasion. He could persuade anyone or anything to do anyone or anything to do blah, 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 blah. So he could talk to a guy and be like, you actually want to go over there. And the guy would want to go over there. But he could also talk to a stick and be like, you want to be on fire. And then it would be on fire.
Power of persuasion is
the power of persuasion is crazy broken because it could be like, you could literally just say, like somebody's like, I'm going to kill you. I think I win this fight. And then you do.
I love that. That's so fucking cool. Oh, Bubba went back into his cage. He's in exile.
You know,
I bet
he was trying to pull my leg hairs. That's probably...
Yeah, probably.
Xanth, that's a weird one. I wouldn't know what to classify that one as.
Xanth is so fucking weird.
Like, on the one hand...
Xanth is the One Piece of fantasy novels.
Yeah, it's pretty soft, but then on the other hand, like, each spell does a thing. Yeah. And it does that thing.
Yes.
So yeah, that's a weird one. I wouldn't know where to put that one.
I don't remember Xanth, so I couldn't comment.
I mean...
It's hard to describe, honestly. It's very zany.
Almost...
Rob bought it for me. I should read it.
It's a lot of fun. My dad read me those books when I was but a little youngling, and that was formative for me because that man, he's like a weird old hippie man who loves puns, and he decided to, what if the world was puns? So, like, one of the things that happens is, one of the ways that people get lost in the forest, because, like, we're wizards. How do we get lost in a forest? Oh, there are one-way roads. You know, like on the streets, like driving?
Yeah.
How it's only one way? Well, what if you genuinely couldn't turn back? That you can only go down that way.
Oh, man.
Those just exist naturally in the wild.
Oh, shit.
Just one-way paths.
And now you're just
you step onto it, you're locked in. You cannot step off of it. You have to go to the end of that path and then try to find your way back.
That sucks.
Yeah.
What causes these?
Magic.
It's just magic.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
There's a sleeping god under the country that
Spoilers.
just emanates magic. and that's why everybody has talents and stuff. And it's like a parallel universe to Earth because you can also go through that.
New Jersey, right?
Florida.
It's Florida.
That's what it was.
The Florida Everglades.
Why did I think New Jersey? Yeah, it's funny. Florida.
Because
Any resemblance, totally coincidental.
Because New Jersey is what Game of Thrones is.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's there's a big old wall, and if you go to the wall, that's Mundania.
Yeah.
Which is
Florida.
Just the Earth. Yeah,
That's
Earth.
hilarious.
But also, if you go around that wall, you're not in Mundania. There's a whole world still. But if you go over that wall, you're in Mundania.
Weird.
Yeah. It's all very conceptual like that, and I really love that.
That's fun. Yeah, concept powers and magic systems are always interesting. So, my lovely listeners, Kevin mentioned Biomechanica, and that is a sci-fi setting that we're both working on. And we both have various fiction in it. He has his side of things, I have my side of things.
They take place in different ends of, like, different galaxies, so they don't really intersect. But it's the same universe, same laws apply, that kind of thing.
Yeah, we're trying to make sure that the same laws and principles apply to both works. And one of the things Kevin came up with that I fucking adore are concept weapons and concept, like, technologies in general. Yeah. Where basically, like, this thing interacts with this concept on like a cosmic level to where it just asserts that above everything else. Like in order of operations, it's always applied first.
Yeah.
So like a concept item with the concept of cutting can cut literally anything.
Yeah.
It could cut words. It could cut time. It could cut whatever you want to cut with it. As long as you are able to figure out how to do that, you can totally just do that.
Yeah, you can cut through a spaceship exactly as easy as you could cut somebody off mid-sentence.
Yeah, like cause it's the concept of cutting, I always really enjoy that as like a way to like build narrative like powers. Is like the more creative you get with it, even you as a writer can like now all of a sudden this guy can do that because conceptually they can just do that.
Yeah, as long as you're able to link the concept to the outcome, it's possible.
Which is a pretty fun it's a hard magic system, but it's also soft in the sense that like shenanigans are afoot.
It's also why you guys need to read Terry Pratchett.
Yeah,
he has concept stuff. Yeah,
well, because that's many books involve the outside concepts leak into the disc world.
Yeah,
and then this has very strange effects. Which,
like one of them has Las Vegas as a concept infect it.
Yeah, or
that's hilarious.
The supermarket, Walmart.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
man.
The concept of Walmart starts to invade Ankh-Morpork, and it starts taking over the people because like shopping carts just start appearing all over the city, and people are like, wow, I don't know what the hell this is, but it's really convenient.
That's
like,
awesome.
And then
the savings.
Yeah, the actual building itself, and it's the South Park episode of Walmart where it starts to grow basically, and people start going there because everything's just in one spot. That is just fucking convenient, and it's so cheap. Like,
that's so stupid. I love that.
But it's an invading force that's like taking over the city, and they have to fight back. And then it's like it tries to fight back too. It's exactly the South Park episode.
That's fucking excellent. And this is like what, like 20, 30 years before?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, not quite that old, but yeah, like
Terry Pratchett definitely
like
got there first.
Yeah.
That's fucking.
Or another one is the concept of Hollywood. Invading. And then people don't know why, but they have a sudden urge to just go
to the theater
into this weird spot over like edge of California, basically.
Yeah.
Like they decide to go there, and then they're just building like a shanty town, and they're recording.
I don't know what's possessing me to do this
with magical cameras, what they call movers. And
oh man, not movers.
Yeah, and then
don't you know?
There's just some dude and some chick, and it's for whatever reason when they're put in front of that camera, they transform. Now they're a leading man and woman, and like it's really great. And then they have to like basically fight back against the concept of Hollywood, which is in this like tomb with this weird golden statue of a man.
Oh my god!
Oh, the Oscar,
and it's an Oscar.
That's fucking good.
And a lot of this is being told to them.
The Academy has decided that we will take over.
And a lot of this is explained to them by these certain woodland critters have just suddenly gained sapience. and can talk now.
Oh no.
That is unironically a better origin for Zootopia than Disney gave us.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, which
Hollywood invading another dimension is a way better backstory.
Yeah, which is one of the first times we meet Gaspard the Wonder Dog, who's one of the best characters. He's a little terrier, mongrel dog, and he fucking hates that he can think now.
Yeah,
it was so much easier being a dog.
Oh yeah, easy man, 100%. And he had no thoughts.
So yeah, it's a little bit different than your guys' thing, but it just
no, that's still great.
Yeah, but it, just as
that's related.
It's inspiration,
fun, thought experiment too, to kind of see how he handles it versus how we want to handle it. That's fucking excellent, man. Because okay, so one concept weapon that I'll be introducing into my setting is or my side of the setting is one of them is the concept of piercing. So it's like a gladius that it can pierce anything. And eventually, the user gets so good at it, if he points it at someone, he can pierce through their lies. And so he just knows if you're telling the truth or not. So I thought, that's a fun way of using that. And there's probably a whole bunch of other interesting concepts of piercing blue eyes, piercing all these things, piercing through. Yeah, so very, very fun stuff there. But with that, we're going to end tonight's episode. Thank you so much for listening. And do you guys have anything else going on?
Only thing that I'm thinking about doing is the unknown project that I intend to release for free.
Fun.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that, man. I love your literature.
Thank you. It's not very good, but I appreciate it.
I'm playing Sekiro, and I'm finishing up my second go-around through the Stormlight Archive, which is great, because once isn't enough. They're too fucking big. You gotta... I forgot a lot of stuff.
So
it's fucking ridiculous.
I drove to Boston not last week, the week before, and I was supposed to listen to Mistborn on audiobook, and I didn't.
Perfect opportunity.
It would have been a perfect opportunity, but what occurred in Boston sort of riled me up, and I was in a bad mood. For the 48 hours following this trip, I was just in the worst mood. No, nothing could go right. Nobody was okay. Inconsolably, just not even inconsolably sad or even angry. Just salty. Just a little bit pissed all the time.
Fully brined like a pickle.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, have a good night.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.